Hi. Hello, I am Christy-Faith. It is so good to see you. Welcome, everybody. Oh man, TikTok didn't do it. Let's do it again. Is TikTok plugged in? Hello, everybody. Welcome. I'm Christy-Faith. It's so good to see you tonight. Hi, everybody. Do you see that TikTok keeps loading? We are live on a lot of platforms. I don't even know how many at this point. Can you guys hear me? It's so strange that TikTok, we might have to close it and then we'll see what happens. Hi, everybody. Welcome. I'm Christy-Faith. It's so good to see you. Oh, okay. That one is, let me fix it. Let's try that. And then, welcome, everybody. Hello, I'm Christy-Faith. We are trying to go live on all the platforms here. Welcome.
Maya says, hey, Christy, you're
Hi.
amazing and a blessing. So much love.
Oh, hi, Maya. Do I know you?
Or Kat.
Hi, everybody. Oh, Katie's here. Katie, stay with me. I just got on. I can't get TikTok to work. Did I get TikTok to work? I think I got TikTok to work. Yay. We are multi-streaming on. I think I'm on. Yes? Okay. Could I have that fan, babe? Perimenopause. Katie, are you struggling with perimenopause right now? We're the same age. Thank you, babe. Oh, I'm going to have a Beyonce moment because you're going to see like my hair flow, but truthfully, it's the only way I can survive. Welcome, everybody. Come on in. I'm Christy-Faith. I'm here to answer any and all questions you might have about education, about homeschooling, lesson planning, curriculum questions. If your child has special needs, please stay and hang out. I have been in education for over 20 years. I have read thousands of IEPs. I had a major deconstruction about a decade and a half ago and decided to leave the system for good and homeschool my 4 kids. And that's what we have been doing since. And I have a book coming out called Homeschool Rising. It is up for pre-sale right now. It's coming out in just a few weeks. We had an explosive launch team effort. We have so many people on the launch team. It's exciting. I keep showing you guys because the publisher sent me really cute book plates. Here, I should open one to show you guys. They call them book plates. They're just stickers. It's like they don't want to call them stickers. They're just stickers. But they sent me 300. So that's all I have. And they'll be used up I have to sign them all now. But, oh no. I thought they were, okay. Does anyone have small children and then when you open something, a piece of paper important that is matte, you're like, crud, my kids are going to smudge it. Anyway, so here it is. It's just a sticker. And you peel this off and then you put it in your book. And I'm going to sign these. Yay! That's just one of the things that launch team people are going to get. So tomorrow is the day that launch team is getting the proof copy. Yes. Now I know Thrive Homeschool Community. It already has had it, but they're in Thrive, so that's cool. I have people messaging me. I forgot to silence notifications on my phone. So those of you who know me, just try not to text me right this second. Hello, welcome everybody. My daughter made me a decaf coffee just for this live. And then after this, one of my daughters lost a molar. And I feel like she's close to being pretty much done for this phase of losing teeth. But I don't have stuff for the tooth fairy. So I'm going to go to Vitamin Cottage after this. Because I do want to get her some like sugary stuff. But I don't know about you guys. Do any of you see a massive difference in your kids when they have food coloring? I do. Major. And it's like, we don't need it. I actually think things are prettier when you use natural colors, don't you? The last birthday cake we did was done with natural. Oh my goodness. And this is not a sponsorship, but I don't know if you guys realize 31 Flavors ice cream took out all food coloring in their ice cream. Now, not their birthday cakes, not the icing on their cakes. That's a whole different thing. But I am a fan of, if you let me, I could eat like a teenage boy, seriously. But I love mint chocolate chip ice cream, and I love mint chocolate chip from 31 Flavors, and I like coffee ice cream from Haagen-Dazs. And then of course I like gelato, like made fresh from places. However, I noticed that the 31 Flavors green was not really that green anymore. It was a faded green. Well, I investigated and they took out all of their food coloring, you guys. So just want you to know that I appreciate their effort. I really do. Anybody else, does their kid respond to food coloring like mine do? And me, myself, I don't feel good. Anyway, I'm so glad you guys here. I am a homeschool thought leader, a homeschool author, speaker. I am so excited to be here with you tonight. I have read thousands of IEPs. I know a lot about educating kids. I'm hoping that I can help you. Are you struggling with anything right now? Are your kids not motivated? Are you in that slump? Anybody in that slump right now where it's February and you're like, I am so sick of homeschooling? I am. We're doing 2 field trips this week alone because I just need a little bit of a break. Let me know how you're doing. I want to know where you live. Please put in the comments where you live and how many kids you have. So I want 3 things: where you live, how many kids you have, and how long you've been homeschooling. If you're not homeschooling and you're kind of on the fence and curious, we want you here. We can answer all the questions that you might have. In the link in my bio, I have a 26-page how to homeschool guide. It's behind me here too. 26 pages. It's not one of those lame freebies. It literally is a how to homeschool guide. So, yes.
Hobbs, the coolest girl over on YouTube, says, my kids are homeschooled anxiety. And I guess that's what she's up against right now.
Oh, yeah. Some anxiety. I totally get that. I don't know if you have checked out my friend Colleen Kessler, but she has some really great resources on anxiety. You should check her out. Her website is Raising Lifelong Learners. Someone can put that in the chat. Not only is she amazing for like twice exceptional, gifted, but also kids who have anxiety. So check out her stuff. Yeah, another question?
Yeah.
And she's an amazing human being. So, because I know her personally.
We got Brianna.
Brianna, hi.
New shout out. Homeschool working mom of 3 on her 6th year.
Awesome. And you work too. So do I. How great.
We got XO Missy White XO. Hey from Kentucky, 5-year-old daughter and 3-month-old son, first year homeschooling.
First year, with your little kindy. Oh my goodness. But don't you feel like some days you're like, this is only a 5-year-old. Why is this so hard? It's because of your baby. It's because of your toddler. Because yes, can homeschooling and kindergartner happen in like no time flat? Absolutely. But you're washing plates. They can't do like a lot of chores yet and all of that. I think some of the hardest years to homeschool are in your childbearing years and when you have littles under tow, because you want to give your older kids a great experience. You want their literacy in place, right? But then you have these babies and you're feeling constantly pushed and pulled. I hear you. When I started my 5-year-old homeschooling, I had 2-year-old twins and a 7-month-old baby. It was nuts. It was nuts. Okay, we have another question?
Yeah. Okay, so Jersey cows, we're coming to you next. But first, Lacey, new to homeschooling, mom of 3. How do you avoid the slump? The slump made me put my oldest in charter because I was tired.
Yes, we all get tired. I actually think we should plan when this coming year, when I do my fail-safe homeschool setup, it's the workshop that I give every year where we set up our entire year and we plan out our weeks, days, we make sure we're legal, and we put in flex days, okay? I teach you guys how to put in flex days and vacation days and things like that. And I'm not talking like where you go on an expensive vacation. We need breaks. The oil needs to be changed on our car. We need to clean out our pantry. We got to do heater vents, things like that. We got to take care of our life as well. If we don't plan for those things ahead of time, we will constantly feel behind. And when we constantly feel behind, that leads to burnout. That's why around this time of year where the sun's not out as much, it's like rote, everything is rote. We'll wake up, it feels like Groundhog Day. So one thing that I make sure to do for myself is I really do allow for breaks, homeschool breaks and weeks off during this slumpy time. I do extra field trips and I do lots of unit studies. I say, today we're just going to do math and do our piano practice. Otherwise, we're doing this unit study. If you're not sure, if you've never done unit studies, go check out my website. I have really cool ones. And in 2 days in Thrive, February's unit study is a whole unit study on Dr. Seuss, because in March, it's Dr. Seuss Day. And we wanted you to have that unit study ahead of time, totally open and go. But you don't have to buy mine. I'm just saying I am planning for in the coming weeks in March to do a Dr. Seuss unit study. I'm going to read different books to my kids. Another great thing to do during these slumpy times when you're just feeling incredibly burnt out is to swap out something really fun and unusual that breaks things up, like starting a new hobby or a handicraft or making morning time look completely different for 6 straight weeks or something like that. So I'll stop there. There's a lot, but the main thing I want you to know is do not feel guilty. You are completely normal. We all feel that slump. We have been going so long. And a lot of people think, oh, but I had the holidays. That was a break. Excuse me. Are holidays really a break for us women? Are they really? No, they are not. If anything, the holidays are just completely crazy. Are you doing my notifications?
Just keep going.
Oh, okay. Am I not on TikTok?
You froze for a second.
Oh, okay. Am I back, you guys, on TikTok? Okay, I lost my train of thought. What was it? Oh, yeah. We think we play mind trips on ourselves. Like, wait a minute. I just had Christmas winter break. Why am I burnt out? We didn't have a break. Are you kidding me? The holidays are not a break. If anything, things ramp up for us and we have to go even more through the new year and then boom, start homeschooling again. So I think February, early March is a great time to maybe not even 1 week. Maybe you take 2 full weeks off. You don't need to go anywhere. And just relax, sleep in, if you live in a cold place, put on the fire. Don't read aloud, save some of those. We all have those read alouds that we want to get to, but have words hard to pronounce. Like right now we're in Greek myths. I put that thing on audio. Are you kidding me? I'm not going to mispronounce all of those Greek gods. So anyway, those are just some things but the main thing is I want you to know that you are not out of the ordinary. We all feel that way. And so I think that since this is typical, let's plan for it. So, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Do we have more questions? I'll take a sip really quick of my iced coffee that my daughter.
We do. A couple things. OCMD, Maryland, maybe. 3-boy mom, Maryland here. 11-13, just graduated my 18-year-old.
What?
Homeschooling.
Can we give her hearts? She just graduated her homeschooler. That's awesome. One of them.
Okay, we're gonna jump to a lot of the platforms here. We got everybody. We got a lot of.
Okay, and if you guys want to know, I had a really great day in my Pilates class. If you're curious, I'll tell you. If not, then that's fine. But I'm kind of excited about what happened. Okay, go ahead.
Jersey Cows says, did you see the Michigan State Board of Education meeting?
No, I did not. Will you email me a link to hello@christy-faith.com?
Christy-Faith.com.
Yeah, Christy-Faith.com.
And it's in your link tree too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So,
if you ever want to email me, you guys, my email is in my link tree. You don't have to remember it. You just go to my link tree, you scroll all the way down, and you click that button, and you can send me an email.
Over on YouTube, let's see, I live in Oregon, have 3 young children and 2 stepchildren that are teens. Been homeschooling since this school year with my first grader and kindergartner. I'm in a slump because I have a teething 10-month-old and a 6-year-old that wants to play too many video games.
Oh, I know it. Yeah, it's so hard. I get it. And the thing is, too, and she lives in a cold area where she can't get out a lot right this second, huh?
I'm not sure about that.
Yeah. Yeah. One, I want to acknowledge that you're just in a little bit of a hard phase. It's hard with those ages to get them out and about. So I'm not going to sit here and say, do more field trips. Like, that's going to add to your mental load, isn't it, right now? So, but I just want to say that it really truly is a season, like, before you know it. And I'm not saying this to mitigate where you are. I want to give you hope. You are not far from a season where that 5-year-old right now is making you an iced coffee. I'm serious. Like, it's not far away. So right now, the physical load is on you, the mental load, the emotional load, the educational load. Right now, it is all on you, and it's hard. So I want to acknowledge that, because you have chosen. I want everyone to hear this. When we homeschool, we choose a more taxing path. Why do we do this? Because we want something better for our kids. That's why my favorite adjective to describe homeschooling is the word sacrifice. That is what we are doing. And that makes people uncomfortable, because not everyone can homeschool. And of course, not everyone should homeschool either. However, those of us who do, I don't want those people and any naysayers out there to make us feel guilty or bad about our decision and not acknowledge that it actually is pretty difficult to manage it all. All we want is to not mess this up. We want our kids prepared now. We want them to have what they need now. We want them ready for their future. That is why we are doing this, and we know the school system will not provide this for them. At the same time, we have to get through our day-to-day, and some seasons are really, really hard. So what I want you to hold on to deeply in your heart, hug hard, is your why. Why are you doing this in the first place? If you don't have a why, and it's okay if you don't, I didn't for a long time. If you don't have a reason why you are homeschooling that you can memorize and rattle off, I have a workshop called Finding Your Why. You don't even need to join Thrive to take it. You can just take the workshop by itself. It is step 1 of my 8-step homeschool success framework, but it is such a vital workshop to take. Do you need to take my workshop to find your why? No, you don't. Have I done a really good job where I figured out a way to I've adapted the why to homeschooling, and I have figured out a way that you can have a why statement in under 45 minutes? Yes, I have. So the feedback I get from that is phenomenal. If you feel lost, burnt out, going back to why you're doing this in the first place is vital. Yes.
Okay, so we've got questions everywhere, but we're going to go to TikTok. And Kelly, do you think it's okay just to focus on dyslexia and dyscalculia, new curriculum, while we catch up? I guess, homeschool mom for 3 years and just figured out my 5th grader has dyslexia and dyscalculia. Okay.
Is she asking, is it okay to kind of pause everything to get a handle on this literacy?
Yes.
Yes. 1,000%. In fact, when we would do reading intervention for kids back at our center, it was icing on the cake if we could get the kids to be pulled out of school. Listen, first our kids learn to read. Then there's then there is that transition to then they read to learn. If we don't make sure that they can now read to learn, they're not going to learn anything. Now, I'm being a little dramatic, but think about it. Around 3rd grade, that's when science textbooks are very wordy, where they have to synthesize the information, read and comprehend. They're starting to get into chapter books and novels and analysis. If they cannot read fluently and well and have comprehension, they are getting behind minute by minute by minute. So it is absolutely the right choice to take care of the literacy piece so that you can give your child the gift of being able to read to learn. So I want to encourage you in that. Will they? Yes. Will they catch up later? You guys think about it. How many times do kids get U.S. history throughout their 12 years? They get it in elementary school a couple times, junior high, and then again in high school. So all those things, that information is not vital right now, especially if your kid has recently been diagnosed with dyslexia. So I am so glad that you were on tonight's live, because I don't know if you needed that encouragement for someone who has done reading interventions with kids for years, but yes, absolutely. And I just interviewed a dyslexia specialist. She has a master's in special ed. She is twice certified in Orton-Gillingham. She's a phenomenal interventionist. I just interviewed her for my podcast, so that means it'll probably come out next month or so. And that interview was mind-blowing. You're going to love it. If you guys aren't following my podcast, you should. I do meaty stuff, you guys. I'm not a fluffy type of a girl. That's just not my style. If you want meat, if you want to be like, I could have just paid for that information, that's my podcast. I go there. And I make my guests go there too. So anyway, you'll love that. Please, please listen to her when she comes out. That one, her name is, it'll be in the title about the reading. Yeah.
Kelly says, yes, thank you. Exactly what I need.
Yes, yeah.
Purple Switch is here.
Jen.
And then we've got on Instagram, Miss Barrett. When are you releasing the new podcast? I love listening to it. Right on that. So probably in about a week.
The podcast?
Yeah.
With Sydney? Is she asking about the one with Sydney?
She was just asking in general. She just likes your
podcast. Oh, thank you. Yeah. So the podcast is gonna be coming out every Tuesday, I believe. Soon. It's coming out twice a month now. I just had to do that while I was getting the book done. I'm only human. And I have to homeschool my kids. So we did the podcast only twice a month, but starting in March, probably it's going to be a weekly podcast that will probably drop every Tuesday. So follow it. It's on all of them, like YouTube. What are they? Spotify. I don't even know.
Altitude Positive. Pre-ordered your book. Plan to homeschool my 5.5-year-old this September.
Woo! Awesome!
Do you have curriculum recommendations?
Yeah. So in my bio, I have a download that is curriculum recommendations, and it's a pretty meaty one. So go grab that for sure.
Yep.
Thank you for pre-ordering the book.
Laura says, what are the warning signs for dyslexia and dyscalculia? When should a homeschool mom know to look for support?
Okay, so we went over this in the podcast with Sydney when I interviewed her. 6 or 7. And there are certain warning signs. You could even do a Google search for like a screening for dyslexia. And it wouldn't be a diagnosis, it would be a screening. But you can have reading disorders and it not be dyslexia. So it's important that if you suspect something is going on, that you start doing some research, maybe do some online screening tests. They're not foolproof, but if you they help you get an idea of, okay, is it time to like call someone and get this taken care of or not? So, okay.
Alexa over on YouTube. Yes, thank you. I'm definitely happy I chose to homeschool. No matter how hard it can be, I feel like it's so worth it.
Nice. It's so true. Yeah.
Angel Ariano on Instagram. I'm new to homeschool. 2 boys, 13 and 7. We do CTC math because of your recommendation.
Oh, awesome.
But I feel like I'm not doing enough for my boys.
Oh, you feel okay. So, oh man, I want to personally invite you to join Thrive Homeschool Community. In the 8-step framework, one of the steps is an audit, because we all wonder, am I doing enough? And then when we're doing a lot, we're like, am I doing too much? It's like we never actually know. And so that's why I created the audit. It's a self-assessment that you can take. It is just one of the pieces of the 8 steps that makes a successful homeschool. So I would love for you to consider joining. If you're curious about Thrive Homeschool Community, it's where I help you build a homeschool that does right by your kids, that gives them what they need now and prepares them for a really bright future. It's kind of insurance that you're not going to mess this up. And a lot of it is reassurance of your own intuition. And yeah, are you going to learn amazing stuff? Are you going to grow? We have workshops every month. They're kind of like master classes. The 8-step framework is in there. We have office hours based on your kid's age, where I think she mentioned hers is a little bit younger. We have a preschool to 2nd grade office hours with me and my mentors. And then we have an elementary office hours. We have a teen office hours. And of course, we have all age office hours. We do those in the evenings for those mamas who work. So look at what Thrive Homeschool Community is, because if you are feeling, this is who it's for. If you're feeling insecure about what you're doing, if you're feeling like you don't have a lot of support and there's a lot of naysayers in your life, Thrive is for you. If you feel like you have a naysayer right here yourself, Thrive is for you. And if you really want to learn what's important, like what actually will make my kids successful, what do I actually need to do to set them up, Thrive is for you. So, and then the bonus is we actually truly care. So if you are hungry for community and a place where you feel a sense of belonging, we are not a group. Like, you can join a free Facebook group if you want. That is not what we are. If you truly, truly need a place that is non-judgy, where you want to feel like you belong and you get to know other people in there, then it's for you. So it's not for everybody though. So go check out in the bio what it's all about. Is CTC, she reminded me, is CTC sponsoring this?
CTC is sponsoring.
Yay! Thumbs up. Put in the comments, you guys, the reason why I can go live every week and do all this content and everything is because we have amazing sponsors. Now, I want you to know I'm extremely picky about sponsors that I will even allow into my life. And I gotta say, CTC Math is a company that I went to them and I said, I love your product. I love your curriculum. Can I please, can I do sponsored videos for you? So in that sense, it's a very different type of collaboration. CTC truly saved us in terms of our oldest. We are so thrilled with the program. It is absolutely phenomenal. It is a full homeschool math curriculum. It is awesome. It's K to calculus. You can't go wrong. The questions are adaptive. It's great for learners who are gifted. It's great for typical learners. It's great for atypical learners. Because you go at your own pace, it is truly a phenomenal math program. But the other thing, the reason why I love it so much is I'm pretty picky academically. I'm a rigorous homeschooler. I want, my kids are not only college bound, but most of them are probably graduate school bound based on what they've expressed to me. I'm not a huge believer that every kid needs to go to college, but the professions that my kids have expressed that they want to go into requires those. So I want them well prepared. And CTC Math it prepares you for the entrance exams, college tests, all of that. So I feel like I have not sacrificed anything, but I've made my own life 1,000,000,000,000 times easier because CTC, I'm more of a COO, checking in, accountability. I'm no longer in the trenches having to relearn math. So they are sponsoring tonight's live, and for that, I am so grateful because I am able to bring my expertise to you guys and answer questions as best as I can because of them. So yay for CTC. If you use them, put in the comments that you do if you're curious. If you want a coupon, do we have an email going out for them with a coupon soon? Next week?
Yep.
Get on my mailing list because next week we have a coupon coming out for them, but their coupons expire in 3 days, so you got to get on my mailing list. Okay.
Courtney Jessica on Facebook, looking for a good history curriculum, 3rd, 4th grade. Any recos?
Yes, so I am a huge believer with history, to teach history with living books. I just love it. Do I have my kids do history memory work? I do. I have them memorize little historical jingles. Do we from time to time work in a timeline where they have a master timeline where they have a grasp of the whole scope of history? Yes. but primarily I spend my time reading out loud to them living books for history. Do I need a curriculum for that? No, I don't. You can research and come up with amazing book lists for specific eras based on your kid's age. So if you are wanting to do, I want to do early American history, or, I want to do medieval, there are so many resources out there where you don't even have to necessarily buy the curriculum. You can simply buy the books, because if you're a mindful, thoughtful parent, you can ask the questions. You can have the discussions. You can have them narrate both orally and do written narrations. So if you're curious what narration means, I'm happy to explain it on tonight's live. But I don't want to babble on about what narration is if you guys aren't curious about it, because it's a thing. It's a thing that takes time. So, living books for sure. My kids, we do not use textbooks. I'm not against them, but I'm not really for them.
Altitude positive. What professions are your kids currently interested in?
Oh, how funny. So, Troublemaking. I'll mention one because I actually think that it's possible. You know, when kids are little, they just, they say all these things. But my son in particular really wants to be an attorney. And he even has some passionate things that he wants to be an attorney for. And that's one of those professions that you need to go to law school for. So, am I a huge... In fact, I'm going to invite some degree-free people on my podcast. I also I have invited an amazing homeschool graduate whose business, he's an entrepreneur, and his business is in the multiple six figures, and he has done it degree-free. And then I also recently interviewed a homeschool grad who went to an Ivy. And both of them talk about how their homeschooling experience prepared them for each of those different environments, being degree-free and also going to college. So I just love what homeschooling can do, because we can spend our time on the things that matter, on the things that will actually help them achieve their own goals in life. But ultimately, what it really is we're teaching them how to learn. We are teaching them how to figure out what they need to know in order to go where they want to go in life. And whether that means college and graduate school, or if it means going degree-free and doing something else, it doesn't matter, because they're going to be successful because we've given them the tools and we've equipped them with this base of what they actually need to know. It infuriates me. I mean, even our high school kids, they have to know all this stuff, all these fancy chemistry calculations, but aren't taught how to balance a freaking checkbook. I mean, come on, people. And we think that, and then we tell homeschoolers that they're not preparing their kids for real life. Please, give me a freaking break. That stuff drives me up the wall. There's a couple things that drive me up the wall, by the way, about how they treat homeschoolers.
Oh, Carolina Briones. My 9th grader is interested in law. Any recommendations?
Writing. Yeah, if your 9th grader is interested in law, he or she needs to be an excellent reader with high comprehension. So you can read. You can have reading fluency and you can have reading comprehension. They need both. They need to be able to read quickly, and they need to be able to conceptualize and understand everything that they read. And they need stellar writing skills, like rock star status writing skills. Of course, the reasoning, analytical thought, all of that, yes. But if I was to narrow it down, because I do believe that if you are a good reader and a good writer, by default, you have those analytical skills that is required. So that's why I boil it down to those two. Would you agree with that, Scott, based on all the kids that we counseled into?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Kendra, Jake's tie-dye? If so, I'll definitely have to listen with my kids.
Yeah, I invited Jake on. I know. Wait, are your kids obsessed with Jake? My girls ask to binge him. Do you think my girls have little crushes on Jake?
Jake better
They
watch it.
love him. Anyway, he is easy on the eyes. Sorry, babe.
Jake better watch it.
I'm just saying. He's young. But I'm just saying that he's a wonderful young man. And he's a great example of building an amazing multi-six-figure business being degree-free. So, and he's a cool person. Yes.
Is your homeschool philosophy religious or secular? Just curious.
So, I am a faith-based homeschooler. But my calling, my passion is non-sectarian. And I know that sounds weird. So my Thrive Homeschool community is non-sectarian. We support everybody in their philosophy, in their faith. We have atheists, Muslims, agnostics, Christians in Thrive Homeschool community. And you know what's so cool? We all get along because it doesn't really matter why we are there. We are there because we want to give our kids the best education possible. But it's interesting because I know a lot of homeschool influencers or whatever you want to call us are faith-based and their platforms are also faith-based. But this is totally my lane. You know, I ran the learning center, our learning center for 17 years. I was a faith-based person who ran a secular business. It's just it does not feel awkward to me at all. And so I support everybody in their goals for their children because ultimately I believe in parents' rights. So unfortunately, should I get on a soapbox about Christians right now?
Go for it.
Unfortunately, people are hypocritical where they want all these parents' rights, but they want to impose their beliefs on others. So if you truly believe in parents' rights, that means that you are upholding some people's thoughts and beliefs that you don't agree with. I'll leave it there. So are there things that make me uncomfortable? Yes, but do I really like living in a free society where the government is not telling me what I have to teach my children? Yes. Yes, I do. Because I am seeing the direction that things are going, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. So I want the freedom for myself, and I don't want it only for me. I want it for everybody. So I wrote a chapter in Homeschool Rising that I pulled out. I had to pull it out because my word count was too high. And it's the lost chapter, but I go into this in detail. Like, what is this about? These philosophical objections to homeschooling. And if we truly believe in parents' rights, that means we have to be okay with everybody's parents' rights. Now, where does that line stop? Of course, child abuse, educational neglect, 1,000%. I don't think anyone has the right to abuse their child. I think children have the right to an education. So that's where the rights stop. But other than that, we should be able to raise our kids with the faith of our choosing, in the educational style we feel like works best for them. We need to be trusted as parents that we know what is best for our children. And I'll leave it there because I could go on and on. I just put together one of my keynote addresses for 2025. If any of you guys want me to go to and speak at some of your state conferences, please reach out to both me and the people at your state conference. I have a pretty amazing keynote on this, on the failure of the public school system and the importance of home education and everything that it can provide. So, okay, did I go a little too far there?
No,
Am I going to be up at night like, Christy, why did I say that? Why did I say that? You know what? I can't do this. So I can't, this right here, like this social media thing, like I can't do this and not be me. Like I just can't. So you're getting all of it. I mean, right? If anything, I am the most unhappy in life when I feel like I am forced into a position where I feel asynchronous with myself.
No wing clipping.
Oh, you're so sweet.
DeCaro says, I'm homeschooling my 2 kids, but my son is 15 and he is not happy about it.
Your son, okay, that is not uncommon for your 15-year-old to fight back. You know, we have teen office hours in Thrive Homeschool Community. I would love for you to join and we can support you. We have all of I have 2 mentors in all of the office hours with me. And one of them, she's already raised all of her kids, graduated them from homeschool. Another one, her kids are junior high and up, and the oldest one has already graduated. It is so typical, especially if you're beginning homeschooling later, a little bit later, junior high, high school, to get that kickback. But let me tell you, I have personal friends who their kids ended up thanking them actually sooner than later. And I had a conversation with Scott today. We had to do something hard with parenting. And we just encouraged one another and said, they're going to thank us later. It might not be till they're 30, but they are going to thank us for this decision later. And it's just really hard in the moment. So, yeah.
Kelly said, I was told I was indoctrinating my children for being faith-based.
Oh, yes. Of course you were told you were indoctrinating your children. Yes.
And somebody else asked, what is secular homeschooling?
So secular homeschooling, so it's just people who are faith-based homeschoolers, they'll incorporate their religious faith-based beliefs in their homeschool. So one of the ways I do that, because I am a Christian, is in morning time, we have a devotional time, and I have devotionals that I love and I respect highly, and we read the little application and the Bible verse that goes with it. So when you incorporate, it's very similar to how you would imagine like sending your kids to a Christian school or something, where you have open conversations about your faith in your education, right? Or when you're talking about character issues, you mention what maybe the Bible says about something that you're seeing with your kid. Secular homeschooling can incorporate all those principles just without the faith, right? So there are secular homeschool curricula. That means it's not religious at all. There's a lot, and stuff is coming out all of the time. I use both secular and faith-based curricula. So there's really something for everybody nowadays, and I think it's great. I think it's great because parents are waking up that the schools are failing our kids, and parents are starting to do something about it. So the fact that there's a demand for all types of curricula, because I would say in the 80s and 90s it was largely religious. There's a reason for that, by the way. I don't need to go into the history of homeschooling in America, but this second.
But you do in your book.
But I do in my book. Hi! Did you finish cleaning the kitchen? Not yet? Okay. Love you.
Carolina Briona says, my 14-year-old was mad at me, but we finally had a breakthrough.
Oh,
don't give up.
Yay! What an encouragement! Thank you for being on this live and encouraging. I love that.
Well,
awesome.
We're probably in the final stages here.
Okay, put your last question in. We have a couple more minutes before I'm going to Vitamin Cottage. I need eggs. I need chocolate. And a couple other things. She's still there. She's so cute. Are you not cleaning the kitchen? Trouble. She's in trouble. Why is she so stinking cute, though, with those cheeks? Ah!
There was a lot of comment about Jake.
Are people running to his profile? He's going to get the wrong kind of follower now. Oh, my goodness. Denise is going to...
DeCaro, regarding my son who is not happy about homeschooling, is there something that you would do or advise me to get him encouraged or interested in it? Thanks.
Okay. Yes. How old?
He was 15.
15. This is what I would strongly suggest. This was the age that I taught. I specialize in the difficult ages. So, At that age, you need buy-in. I mean, you need his buy-in like nobody's business. What does that mean? That means you involve him in the curriculum choosing. That means you ask him. So in my fail-safe homeschool, I kind of want you in Thrive, because in my fail-safe homeschool setup, I have a prerequisite questionnaire that you ask your kid before you dive into your school year. Like, what do you love? What do you not like about your previous school experience? What are your favorite subjects? What do you wish we did more of as a family? It's like a whole interview for your child. Yes, your teen. It's an interview for your teenager, but it will give you so much insight. And I strongly recommend that you listen to his interests and do as much interest-led learning as you can. However, you hold that with what are the college aspirations or after homeschooling aspirations, because you want, and you have this conversation with your son. Say, look, I want you to love learning. I want you to fall in love with learning and be able to do anything that you want in life. However, that's going to require some basics, especially if you're college bound. We got to do this, and this. There's no way around it. I want you prepared. I want to be a good mom. I want to be a good homeschool mom. So it would be terrible if I didn't prepare you in this way, but I will make you a promise. Everything else, I'm going to give you freedom in. I'm going to listen. Even in those core subjects, I'll involve you in the discussion for curriculum choice too. So the more conversations, the more buy-in. Sit together on the computer, shop curriculum together, all that kind of stuff. It will transform. It will transform his buy-in for sure. So I would love, you guys, some of you, these questions are like, I know Thrive isn't for everybody. It's not. I get it. It's not. But some of you guys, I'm just really wanting you in there so that I could spend more time with you. No. It's in my bio. If you want more information, it's in my bio. A couple major things in my bio that are free. Let's talk about what's free. I have a free How to Homeschool guide. I forgot to mention it earlier. I have a free 5-minute homeschool style finder. I have a free download of curriculum recommendations. And I also have a free download of a book list of just binge-worthy books. If you want your kid to fall in love with reading, grab that list. It's like our favorite family books, some of them. If you need more, if you really need more, you need support, you're feeling lost, you're worried you're going to mess this up, Thrive Homeschool Community is for you. Read about it first. Don't impulse buy. Go to my page, read up what Thrive Homeschool Community is. That page describes it accurately. That's exactly what it is. A lot of ladies might be in Thrive that are in this live tonight. It is it's my heart and soul. It's where I am every single day, multiple times a day. So I have lots of free stuff. Don't forget, I have a book coming out. It's called Homeschool Rising. If you were planning to buy my book anyway, I want you to know on a personal level that it really helps an author out if you pre-order books. I never knew that. I would always wonder why authors were going on podcasts asking for pre-orders. I did not realize until I became an author how important pre-orders are. I'm not trying to sell you my book. If you were going to buy my book anyway, it would personally really help me out if you just went and pre-ordered it. And then it'll come to you in 3 weeks? 3 weeks? It's coming out?
Yeah.
But those the publisher is like sending me my pre-order counts on a regular basis. Like they kind of matter. So that's it, I think, for tonight. Okay, one last.
Yeah, 144.441. I'm homeschooling first year. I'm having doubts because I don't know how credits work for high school.
Okay, you do not need to worry about high school credits right now. She's a first grader?
No. It's her. I'm homeschooling. She's in her first year. I don't know how.
Maybe she's in her first. I thought you said first grader.
No.
First year, but not sure how high school credits work.
Yeah.
It's easier than you think. We can talk about it more in office hours. I wish I didn't have to go right now because I could explain more. I feel so bad.
We did a workshop on that.
We did an entire workshop. Oh, by the way, when you join Thrive, you have access to all of our workshops. And there is a workshop on this taught by Jean Burke. I invited her into the community to teach everybody about getting your kid ready for college. So that workshop is literally sitting there waiting for you in Thrive. That one workshop is worth your monthly dues. Seriously. Like, join. Well, I don't want to tell you to like join, watch that workshop and leave, but you would literally say like that was worth the money if you did. So, but don't do that because I want to get to know you. So when I tell you Thrive is jam-packed, it is like, it's a freaking amazing place to be as a homeschooler. It's what I wish I had when I started. Okay.
Aaron Moore Davis, Thrive is 100% worth it.
Oh, you're so sweet, Aaron. Mwah, mwah. I love you guys. Okay, the Tooth Fairy is not prepared for tomorrow morning. So she needs to go to Vitamin Cottage to get some dye-free candy and eggs. Maybe some deodorant. What else do I need?
Purple Switch wants to know if they're Organic Valley eggs.
Tonight, Jen, let's do a shout out for Organic Valley, an amazing company I have come to learn that really I have. Jen works for Organic Valley. She was telling me about Organic Valley, and I was like, oh my goodness, this sounds like an amazing company. So no, they are not sponsoring this live, but I wouldn't mind if they would start sponsoring lives. But who is the sponsor for tonight's live is CTC Math, and I just love them. So check them out if you are totally freaking out with your kids' math. You hate it. It's tears every day. The tears will disappear overnight if you transition to CTC Math. Get on my mailing list as well because there is a CTC coupon coming out next week. So if you get on my emailing list now, you'll get that next week. Bada bing, bada boom. You're in. I love all of you. I will see you soon. Who knows when? But I was just telling my VA today. Are you here, Brittany? Like, we were talking about some mom who emailed in. Oh, yeah, she DM'd on Instagram. And I was like, I want to be friends with everybody. Like, I actually literally, it hurts that I can't be actual friends with everybody, with all of you guys. Okay, I'm going to end there.